following is a presentation of Wareham Gatemen Baseball, brought to you by the Gatemen Baseball Network in conjunction with the Cape Cod Baseball League.
Last summer, the Wareham Gatemen had one of their most successful seasons in franchise history.
Skied out to left field. This ball is way back. See you later. Colton Shaver.
2-1 pitch. That is rocketed out to right field. Back goes the right fielder. That one's gone. An absolute bomb to right field for Gavin Sheets.
He swung on and hit out towards center field. Bartosik on the move. Kind of got turned around. He's at the wall. Scaling the wall. He reaches up and makes the catch.
But despite their regular season success, the 2016 Gatemen were sent packing after the first round of the CCBL playoffs.
Is this ball fair? It is! Cole comes in to score the game's tying run. McKinnon comes in as well. Bourne has walked off, and Wareham's season is over.
Now, a new season and a fresh start in Wareham. College baseball's finest are coming from all over the country in pursuit of the Gatemen's 8th Cape Cod Baseball League Championship.
3-2 pitch. Metz bombs one to right field. Back goes the right fielder. It's gone. Robbie Metz, his second home run of the season.
The 1-2 pitch from Canine coming in, swung on and missed, and the Gatemen win their 3rd straight game here at Spillane Field.
Fly ball deep right field. Pompey's under it. He makes the catch. Throws to the plate. McIver puts the tag down on the runner and he's out. Double play. What a play by Pompey.
It's Wareham Gatemen Baseball, and you're listening to it live on the Gatemen Baseball Network.
Live from White House Field in the beautiful town of Harwich on Eastern Cape Cod, I'm Connor Federico, and my broadcast partner today is Jacob Toby. You're listening to Wareham Gatemen Baseball on the Gatemen Baseball Network. It's a beautiful night here in Harwich, and we have a lot to be excited about. The Gatemen, they're playing in their 2nd game of the season, Jacob, but last night they dropped their first at Hyannis.
Yeah, it was a 3-0 loss for the Gatemen at the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. We saw Mason Fioli, the starter out of UConn. He struggled with his slider and trying to spot it on the outside. It wasn't working. He only went 2 innings, letting up 4 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked 3 as well. Did strike out a couple batters, but again, the off-speed stuff was struggling. We saw Andrew Ryan, though, come in. The kid out of UMass slowly did a nice job. Pitched 4 innings, let up no runs. Same with Noah Zavalis out of Harvard. Came in, pitched 2 innings and let up no earned runs and struck out a couple guys as well. And we also saw Brandon Lockridge out of the leadoff spot. He's a temp contract player. He had a solid night. He got caught stealing second base, but Jerry Weinstein said he likes the effort out of this kid. That's why they let him off. He's going to lead off again tonight. He'll be at second base, though. And all in all, just a solid night for Wareham. It was only the 3rd inning that really bit them in the butt, if you say. So offense just needs to get going, and it surely will.
It's not often that we have returning baseball players here in the Cape Cod Baseball League, but there is a returner tonight. He's just not on the same team as he was last year. Former Gatemen star Joey Bart, catcher, and now he's with the Harwich Mariners this season. We'll see him tonight.
Yeah, Joey Bart, he's a great talent. He's 2016 Western Division All-Star. He played 30 games with the Gatemen last season, batted .309, drove in 21 RBIs, and in the playoffs he went 3 for 8 with 3 doubles, and he was just red hot in that playoff. And then with the Georgia Yellow Jackets, Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in 2017, played 44 games, had a .945 OPS, so he can get on base. He's a really athletic catcher. He has raw power from the right side. He's going to be a real good talent for the 2018 MLB draft.
3 for 9. Bart was here at White House Field last year. He also had a triple, a run scored, and an RBI, so he's pretty comfortable here in Harwich. He's one of those key players tonight, but unfortunately, Jacob, we won't be seeing some of the Gatemen's expected key players this season.
Yeah, Nick Madrigal, who might have been the best player on this team. He plays for Oregon State, the Beavers right now in the College World Series. He will go right to Team USA after this. He's had a great season, .383 average, 4 home runs, 36 RBIs. Cam Shepard, who was a leadoff candidate out of South California for the Gatemen. He's teammates with Blake Sable. He will not be coming to the Wareham Gatemen. He's going to Team USA as well. And then another leadoff candidate here for the Gatemen out of Eastern Carolina, Bryant Packard. He will not be coming. He batted .276 with East Carolina as a freshman this year. He was going to lead off, but he will not be coming. Don Sneddon said he wants 14 position players, 16 pitchers. Right now, he's got 18 pitchers and 12 position players, so we'll see how he figures it out.
Well, it's not all bad news for the Gatemen. There are some key arrivals on the way. Sam Corman and Matty Feld will be discussing that soon in the South Coast Health pregame. But right now, Sam's got some other updates for us. Sam Corman, what do you got?
And welcome to today's broadcast of the Gatemen Baseball Network. I'm your host, Sam Corman, for the day. We'll get it back out to Connor and Jacob for the game action in a moment. But first, Wareham looking to bounce back from that 3-0 loss in Hyannis last night, in which they had a lot of trouble solving that Harbor Hawks pitching staff. They were held to just 5 hits. And on that note, let's take a look at today's pitching matchup. For the Mariners, Noah Song will get the call from Mariners manager Steve Englert. Song has an impressive 15-7 career record in 2 seasons at Navy. The Claremont, California native was the Patriot League Rookie of the Year in 2016, and this year, Song led Navy with 13 starts, going 6-4 and striking out 89 batters in 76 innings pitched. And for the Wareham Gatemen, Justin Montgomery will make his Cape Cod League debut tonight. Montgomery is coming off his sophomore season at California Baptist University, where he had a 4.55 ERA in 10 appearances this season. He also struck out an impressive 36 batters in 27 2/3 innings pitched and limited his opponents to just 6 extra base hits all year. Perhaps even more impressive, he had a 2.83 ERA last summer for the Peninsula Oilers en route to a championship loss to the Mat-Su Miners of the Alaskan Baseball League. We're now ready to go live to Gateman reporter Claudia Chikamian, who is with Montgomery. Claudia?
Starting pitcher for tonight. So, Justin, first of all, Sneddon kept mentioning to me yesterday that your pitchers needed to throw strikes. You know, you got the 6 strikeouts, but you needed those, especially first pitch strikes. So how can you work on that tonight to get those?
You really just got to focus on attacking the hitters. You got to make sure you go right at them. You can't really play around with them. You just got to go after them.
And Field yesterday went just 2 innings. The bullpen had to go out there a little earlier than usual. So does that affect you at all, knowing that the bullpen's a little tired from yesterday?
Not so much. I have faith in our guys. We have a big roster full of pitchers, so we have a lot of guys to be ready.
And what did you really work on in the preseason when you came here that you wanted to work on maybe from your season at Cal Baptist that you can hopefully get done tonight?
I wanted to work on throwing more strikes, actually, so it's actually going to help me tonight. I think my focus is mainly on that, and it'll help me work.
Great. Thanks, Justin. Back to you, Sam.
The Wareham Gatemen began their 2017 CCBL campaign on Wednesday as they took on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks in Hyannis. A few singles and an early walk from starter Mason Fioli gave the Harbor Hawks an early chance in the second inning.
Bases loaded, 3-2 pitch from Fioli is taken inside for ball 4. Fioli walks in Newstrom from third, and Hyannis scores first. They're up 1-0. 1-0 swung, and it is fair down the third baseline. From third comes Stallings, as well as Proctor scores, and to second base goes Tyler Frank. He's got a 2 RBI double, and the Harbor Hawks take a 3-0 lead.
Fioli's night was over after just 2 innings, but UMass Lowell's Andrew Ryan came in and provided steady relief, throwing 5 innings and giving up just 1 hit and no runs.
The 1-2 pitch from Ryan. They swung on and missed. Fooled Frank on the breaking ball. They'll throw down to first just to make sure.
The Gatemen's best chance to score came in the 7th inning. With the bases loaded, shortstop Ben Baird was frozen by a breaking ball from Indiana State pitcher Ethan Larison.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Baird with 2 outs and the bases juiced. Breaking ball, called strike 3. Baird didn't like it. He thought it was inside, and he'll leave the bases loaded as Baird goes down looking to end the inning.
Wareham just never got the bats going on opening night, totaling just 5 hits when the evening was said and done.
The 1-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on John Topa, and that will do it here at McKeon Park. The Wareham Gatemen can't get a run on the board. They ultimately fall 3-0 to the Hyannis Harbor Hawks.
Those Gatemen calls last night courtesy of Gatemen broadcaster Jacob Toby. We'll be right back on the Gatemen Pregame Live presented by South Coast Health. I'm Sam Corman, your host.
When you're sick or injured, you want care when and where it's convenient for you. South Coast Health Urgent Care has 4 locations: Fairhaven, Wareham, and now in Seekonk and Dartmouth. You can view wait times and even check in online at southcoast.org/urgent care. Choose the time and location that's best for you. We'll even remind you when it's time to come in, and walk-ins are always welcome. Urgent care that exists to meet your needs. More than you expected? That's more than medicine. Check in at southcoast.org/urgent care.
Welcome back to Gatemen Pregame Live, presented by South Coast Health. Here are the starting lineups for today's game between the Wareham Gatemen and the hosting Harwich Mariners. We'll start off with the Mariners. Leading off is going to be Andrew Moritz, the center fielder, number 6. Travis Monio will follow him, hitting at shortstop, hitting second. Joey Bart's going to DH, hitting third. Brad Debo is going to catch. He'll hit cleanup. Cameron Simmons, the right fielder, will hit fifth. Matt Vealing will be in left, and he'll bat sixth. Owen Miller will hit seventh at third base. Jake Farrell is playing first base. He'll hit eighth. And Justin Novak will round out the Harwich lineup at second base, hitting ninth. And for your Wareham Gatemen, it's going to be Brandon Lockridge leading off once again for Wareham today at second base, this time after DHing yesterday. Tanner Dotson will get his season debut in at center field, hitting second. William McIver at third base will hit third. Jake Anchia will catch and hit fourth. Blake Sabol at first today, he'll hit fifth. Andy Shaded in right, he'll hit sixth. John Topa is in left, he'll hit seventh. And Robbie Metz, DHing at eighth, will hit eighth. And Nate Fosnot, also a new addition to this Gatemen lineup from yesterday, is at short, and he'll round it out at the 9 spot. We will now go back to our sideline reporter, Claudia Chikamian, who's with Coach Don Snedden on the field. Claudia?
Thank you, Sam. I'm here again with Coach Don Snedden. So, Coach, first of all, yesterday Jake Anchia went out kind of early, got hit, was out for the rest of the game. He's batting today fourth, so what can you tell us about how he's feeling?
He's fine. He just had he got hit in the carotid there, which can cause some issues with that. So he had a little blurriness just for about 5-10 minutes. We didn't want to take any chances early in the season, so we just got him out of there. So I wanted to get him back in there tonight because he didn't get a full game in.
He feels good, though? Everything seems to be good?
Yeah, he's fine with that. He could have probably finished that up, but just early in the season, you don't want to take that type of chance.
Okay, so yesterday after the loss, you talked to me about getting those timely hits. You had some, but you couldn't get anything that at the right timing. So during batting practice today, I saw you guys were practicing different situations. Do you think that will help you guys get those timely hits?
Well, that's why we're doing it. We're hopeful that's going to happen because last time I checked, you have to get a run to win. So we didn't do that last night. One of the few times I've been shut out in my career. So we're going to have to manufacture runs. You just can't rely on hitting in this league. Pitching is way too good.
And loss yesterday. So today's a brand new day. You guys are both kind of getting that fresh start, going 0-1. So how important is getting that first win tonight?
Well, you got to get one to start with, and you'd like it to be the first game of the year. And if it isn't the first, you'd like it to be the second game of the year, and so on and so forth with that. So everybody's, still trying to find their way. Everybody doesn't have all their players in. They don't know each other yet. So we're all in the same boat. So it's a level playing field. We just all have to go out there and play and see which pitcher throws more strikes and which team can get that timely hit.
Do you feel like you have that pitcher today in Montgomery who can throw those pitches or throw those strikes like you were mentioning?
Yeah, I think all of our pitchers can do that. It's just a matter if they can control their emotions and stay within themselves. But they're here because they have that ability. They did that all year at their college. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here. So hopefully we're just carrying that out here today.
Great. Thanks, Coach, and I'll see you later in the game. Back to you, Sam.
Thanks, Claudia. The Gatemen Baseball Network would like to remind you that you can contact us anytime by emailing gatemen@pressbox.org. That's gatemen@pressbox.org. Please feel free to send us your questions or comments, and we'll make sure to address them as soon as possible. Make sure you're keeping up with all the Gatemen action 24/7 by following the Wareham Gatemen on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and SoundCloud. We'd now like to invite our phenomenal beat reporter, Matt Feld, to the broadcast. Matt, working for the Boston Herald, you know a lot about these local baseball players here in Massachusetts, and Harwich has plenty of them. Northeastern's Jake Farrell is hitting 8th, and Teddy Rotliff from Stony Brook University is awaiting his first pitching performance of the season. Let's hear the scouting report on these local guys.
Yeah, well, Jake Farrell's a first baseman. When he was at Xaverian Brothers High School, which is located in Westwood, Massachusetts, he's been transferred to the outfield and to first base, while at Northeastern tonight he gets to start at first base. Left-handed power hitter, gap-to-gap hitter when he was in high school. He was a terrific fastball hitter, especially low and in. Loved that low and in fastball like most left-handed power hitters do. And he's got a great speed, especially which made him so successful in center field. Great range, a great arm. And he's really taken on that mold, so to speak, as a first baseman power threat, which means he's probably been reduced in terms of ability to run on the bases, in terms of stolen base threat. But he's got quite great power, and I expect to see a lot of that on the Cape this summer. In terms of Teddy Rotliff, he went to Newton North High School, graduated in 2014, and won a state championship. Hard-throwing left-hander, almost has some sidearm action and can throw 92 to 93 miles an hour. Has a terrific slider and is very tough on left-handed hitters.
Of course, Newton North and Xaverian Brothers, two powerhouses in the Massachusetts high school realm. Plenty of Gatemen still haven't arrived on this team, and we're expecting a few more on the way pretty soon. We'll start with outfielder Luke Bonfield, who is expected to arrive after his Arkansas Razorbacks team season concluded. Bonfield actually played in 2 games here last year. What's the scouting report on Luke Bonfield?
Yeah, Luke was expected to be one of the more premier outfielders that the Gatemen had last season, but unfortunately his season was derailed due to a hamstring injury. He's a great contact hitter. He had about 285 for Arkansas this year in their trip to the regional final. All in all, just a very solid overall player. He's not going to wow you with his power, but a good doubles hitter, can steal a couple bases, and someone that can really go anywhere through 1 through 5 in the batting order.
And when that preliminary Wareham roster was released a few months ago, one of the big names that popped out immediately was right-handed pitcher Griffin Roberts from Wake Forest. He'll arrive soon after Wake Forest lost recently in the Gainesville Super Regional. What's Griffin Roberts going to bring to this team?
Yeah, Griffin Roberts had a terrific season as the Wake Forest, predominantly as the closer, a hard-throwing right-hander with a pretty nasty slider. He's someone that can strike out 3 guys in an inning and also has the opportunity to hit or walk a couple guys in an inning. So to my understanding, one of the big things that he hopes to work on this summer is his control, because his stuff is so great, especially his fastball, which can get up into the mid-90s. And he projects as a middle reliever, setup guy, closer at the next level. So I expect him to come in here and be a really pretty dominant reliever out of the Gatemen bullpen.
And finally, Miller Hogan, a St. Louis University junior from the Kansas City suburbs, is bringing with him an 8-3 record and a 2.70 ERA that will add some extra depth to this Gatemen pitching staff. Matt, it's quite a squad expected to come here. What is Miller Hogan going to add to this pretty deep pitching staff already?
Yeah, I had a chance to actually catch up with Miller Hogan a couple of weeks ago before his season concluded and before the draft started, and he was very excited to get up here because he's been watching Cape League games and coming to Cape League games since he was a young kid, and he just can't wait to get on the mound and play for the Gatemen. A terrific right-handed talent, especially for someone his age. He's a control guy as well, doesn't walk a lot of guys. Had a great year at St. Louis, and he's someone who I expect will bring a lot of control, 2-seam fastball, gets a lot of key ground ball outs, great at keeping the pitch count down, very efficient on the mound, and I expect him to be a reliable Gatemen starter for the most of this summer.
Thanks, Matt. Always a pleasure. Bring our Matt Feld onto the Gatemen broadcast. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, it's almost ready for first pitch. Welcome back to Gatemen Pregame Live. I'm your host, Samuel Corman. We'll bring it out to Connor Federico and Jacob Toby for today's broadcast against the Harwich Mariners in just a moment. But first, we're going to talk about the lineup changes here with Matt Feld. First, we have Nate Fosnot in for his Gatemen regular season debut. We saw him a little bit in the preseason. He's a teammate of Robbie Metz at George Washington University, also a teammate of former Gateman Joey Bartosik. Those three were the top 3 in batting average on that George Washington team. What do you expect Fosnot to add to this lineup at the 9-hole?
Yeah, I actually talked to George Washington head coach Greg Ritchie about Nate Fosnot, and Fosnot is someone who came in as a freshman and really impressed. He was receiving a lot of interest from a couple of other A-10 schools. He went to high school in Pennsylvania. He really impressed with his glove at shortstop, especially with the bat. He's got great speed. He ranged anywhere from the top to the middle of the order, which is pretty impressive for only a freshman. He's got terrific gap-to-gap power from what I understand. He had .338 for George Washington this season. Great doubles hitter. He's someone who expects to really excite, and I'm really looking forward to watching him and Robbie Metz when he's at second base play the middle infield together, because based on double plays, they were arguably the top double play combination in the country this year.
Yeah, Fosnot, one of the best players on this roster, one of the best temporary players on this roster for sure. Also changed to the lineup, Tanner Dotson out of the University of California will play in center today. He's a pretty interesting player. What do you got on him?
Yeah, Tanner Dotson's in here to both play the outfield and to pitch. My understanding is that head coach Don Sen is trying to try and get him as many innings on the mound as possible. He's someone who can really hit the ball pretty well, but he's got an explosive arm as well. I was talking to head coach Don Sen yesterday actually about him, and they called him a 95-mile-per-hour thrower, which means they're trying to turn him into a 95-mile-per-hour pitcher by the time that he can return to Cal. So he's going to be someone to definitely watch for this summer just because of his versatility. I would not be surprised to see him excel both in the starting lineup at the top of the Gatemen lineup. He's in the 2-hole today in center field, and also as the game and the season goes on the mound as well.
Okay, we're just about 7 minutes away from that 6:30 start time, and when we come back,